Oh, he's such a girl to be my nephew's sister-in-law. Are the shades of Pemberley to be thus polluted?
You can have nothing further to say. You have insulted me by every possible method. I must beg to return to the house.
Lady Catherine de Bourgh, from Austen's Pride and Prejudice, is certainly one of those characters us viewers and readers love to hate. Her line from the last third of the novel, "Are the shades of Pemberley to be thus polluted?" is one of my personal favourites across all of Austen's novels. I love it so much, in fact, that I have it on a tote bag. Let alone there's even more tote bags with other quotes from this scene that I also want to get. This scene in particular, for those who can't recall or don't know, is really the final battle for Elizabeth in Pride and Prejudice. Lady Catherine has stormed Longbourn after hearing horrible rumours that her nephew, Mr. Darcy of course, is engaged to Miss Elizabeth Bennet, a girl of low origin in the eyes of Lady Catherine. She demands to know whether or not these despicable rumours really can be true. Elizabeth, by now admiring Mr. Darcy a bit, at first does not reveal the truth, that they are not engaged. Lady Catherine is most seriously displeased at Elizabeth's act and grows in irritation. This scene exemplifies the issues of class seen throughout the rest of the novel. Now, because this is a really short video, I'm not going to really go into it too much, but here's a bit of a summary. So, Lady Catherine believes that Elizabeth is far too low for her nephew, despite being a gentleman's daughter, and that Lady Catherine's own daughter would be much better suited, despite the fact that she's very ill and sickly and not a good match at all, and they don't like each other. Mrs. Bennet, obviously Elizabeth's mother, is a little bit further down the social scale, having her sister be married to a merchant and living in Cheapside, which the Miss Bingley sisters also shudder at.
Upstart pretensions of a young woman without family connections or fortune. Is this to be endured? It shall not be. Your alliance would be a disgrace. Your name would never even be mentioned by any of us.
These would be heavy misfortunes indeed.
Obstinate, headstrong girl, I'm ashamed of you.
Lady Catherine, in marrying your nephew, I should not consider myself as quitting that sphere. He is a gentleman, I am a gentleman's daughter. So far, we are equal.
Tell me once and for all, are you engaged to him?
I am not.
This is one of my favourite scenes of the novel and of the 1995 adaptation, which is my favourite Pride and Prejudice adaptation just because it has almost all of the story, whereas obviously the 2005 movie has to cut so much. And as usual, it's always a pleasure to watch Elizabeth and anything she does, said to be by Austen as delightful a character as ever appeared in print. And of course there are so many other iconic lines in the scene, including this, which comes at the end of this exchange.
And this is your final resolve? Very well, I shall know how to act. I take no leave of you, Miss Bennet. I send no compliments to your mother. You deserve no such attention. I am most seriously displeased. Drive on.
Of course, when Mr. Darcy hears of this exchange from his aunt and of Elizabeth's initial privacy and statement that she was not promised never to be engaged to Mr. Darcy, it gives him hope, as goes this YouTube comment. Lady Catherine to Mr. Darcy. Elizabeth Bennet is a selfish, horrid creature. I went down to ensure that none of these mortifying rumours of your being engaged to her were never to come true, but she out and refused to promise me that she would never marry you. Mr. Darcy, already calling his carriage. Tell me more. So the quote, "Are the shades of Pemberley to be thus polluted?" is obviously displaying the fears of Lady Catherine. She doesn't want, obviously, Mr. Darcy's house, Pemberley, to be ruined, be wrecked by this young woman who she sees as far below his station. And in this scene, she really talks about the effects it would have on the family and their station. So it's the social impacting the real, like impacting the building, the institution of Pemberley. And I just find her pettiness just really amusing, as well as the social commentary. I hope you've enjoyed this rather short little video. which is only a brief introduction into some of the happenings of Pride and Prejudice. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the drawing itself, because obviously this is illustrating literature. I drew this because basically I've always wanted an Etsy store. I've always wanted to be able to sell prints of my art, so I was kind of thinking about some of the things I could do. Therefore, I was thinking of my favourite quotes from literature I love, and this one obviously came into my head. It's not coming anytime soon because I've just got back to uni. It's a bit mad, it's a bit crazy. Maybe my goal is to, by next summer, have one up and running. I've done a couple of illustrations, and obviously I've got like a backlog of ones. The main thing as well is like trying to find someone to print with, because I don't really know what I'm doing. But yeah, that's definitely like a goal of mine for this next academic year and next summer. Here's the semi-finished design of a potential like poster I would sell. I really do love graphic design, even though graphic design I'm a bit weaker on than illustrations, but I do love that. But thank you for watching this video. Thank you for listening to my little ramble at the end. I hope you learned something from this. Goodbye.